Everybody needs a pet camel in their backyard. It's not camera shy. Well. All right, here's a little update. Eugenio is officially done working on my house so far. He has finished all the siding. He's installed all the cedar columns around the front of the house, which really adds to it. But there's a few little repairs he's got to do because the inspector has to come back and make sure that these columns are fastened to the house, because we got to worry about download as well as lift. That's important. The stone guys have made tremendous progress. I love what we've decided to do, because I was teetering on the idea of maybe not doing the chimney out of stone to save some money. But I went ahead, spent the extra cash, and I think it really anchors the house. So that is what's left to be done. Then I have to order a railing. So let me know what you guys think. I've done the black iron rails that go around it. Actually, they're aluminum because they're maintenance free. Or I've done that same railing, but it's in glass panels. And I'm thinking more of the glass panel look. So I sit out here, I have unobstructed views. So let me know, I'd like to hear what you guys think, which way I should go. But inside, let's go take a look. The drywall has all been installed, and now the mud and tapers are in there working. So let's see what kind of progress they do.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. You?
Are you doing the taping inside or the stone?
Stone.
Oh, the stone, okay, good. Yeah. Is there a lintel or something that's go above that window? Do you know?
Yeah, they call headers or something like
Oh,
that.
little header, is that,
Yeah.
but they have one for stones,
Yeah.
yes? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but they're not here yet.
I see, okay, very good. Because on the plan it showed cedar, but I think I'd rather have stone, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, so hopefully that's good, yeah. All right, let me turn that down.
Investigación.
I was trying to find the volume knob on this thing. It's got so much drywall mud on it that it's taken on a whole new life and look. Anyway, I did find it because I can't have music playing on our videos, but we need music playing to keep these guys working, so I'm gonna make this fast. All right, so in here, this is the corner bead. You ever heard of that? So sometimes we have rounded corner bead. Is this a window? Yeah. So we're gonna do drywall returns on the windows. And I talked about that, excuse me, I talked about that in the past. We would put wood casing all around the windows. And I started doing this several years ago, and people really like it because when you set this up here, and that's who's already got that cut, then they'll come and put tape and mud on it to get a nice sharp edge. The best part about why I did this on my house, I did it on FLAIR'S, is because when you're looking outside, it's a subconscious thing. You don't pick up that wood trim around the window. You your eye goes out and the light comes in, the view. So it's a little bit of a little cost savings, but we will put wood trim on the sill. And because of that, you want to use real wood, not MDF. MDF is a manufactured product. It paints great, but if it gets wet, stuff blows up. So you might get condensation over time. And if you have a dry-walled sill, that's what this is, it looks dirty, it doesn't clean up well, and eventually some of that water and moisture, it just looks terrible. So we put wood here, drywall return all three sides, and it's a great look. So I want to show you how this corner bead works. So when you put the two pieces of drywall, they leave it short, but see how this is all paper, and then the inside has this metal, which makes it rigid, which gives you a nice sharp corner edge. And it has a little bit of, when you put it up, there's a little bit of an indent here. And the reason for that was when you put the mud, remember that white, this has to stick out farther on both sides. So when you mud it, you're adding material. Otherwise, your wall would look like you have a hump in it. So it's already been set up to have a little bit of a higher edge. And then that mud goes on and makes it nice and smooth. I want to show you something different that we're doing. My wife came up with this idea, and I think it's going to look great. It's something that we've never seen done before, so it's always a little risky. But the fireplace, as you can see, is all drywalled. This is going to get could be a tile or some sort around it. But if you notice, next to it, above these windows, this concrete board is called Durock. Why we put Durock on this wall versus drywall is because her idea, and we're going to do it, is taking that outside stone, bringing it inside. So this entire wall on both sides of the fireplace will be stone. And you need a nice surface like this concrete board to mount the stone to. That's a better way of doing it. You could do it on drywall, but this is a much better. application. The drywall stage is something that tells us we're transitioning into making it look like a home. It's kind of the boring part, because once it goes up, it's exciting, but the rooms tend to close in on you. So if you're building a home, don't panic, because I tell clients that when you drywall, all of a sudden the rooms get smaller, but the home will go through another stage. Once you paint and start putting the flooring in, then the rooms get bigger again. So foundation stage, it looks tiny. Framing stage, it looks big. Drywall, small. Finish stage, big. So that's always nice that it ends up on a big stage. And it takes a while for drywall. It's about a 2-week process for this size home. Then we'll start loading up cabinets, Tom the trimmer, tile setters. There'll be all kinds of things happening. So I'll keep you posted. Here comes my buddy Ralph. He knows I feed him grass. Ralph, you hungry? How you been, man? Here, check this out. You ready, Ralphie? Yeah. Everybody needs a pet camel in their backyard. Have you been keeping an eye on the lake over there? The guy's getting it all done. I see there's dirt put around here. You haven't checked in. You're like all the other people. You don't communicate very good. I need to know what's going on, Ralph. You just eat all the time. Ralph, I was thinking about coming by and hosing you down with giving you a bath. You like being dusty, cleaned up? Look at the dirt on your back. Poor flies on him. You're dusty. Look at the dust come off you, Ralphie. He's not camera shy. Ralph, there's a new addition to FLAIR'S farm, this turkey. I've never seen a white and black turkey. He's beautiful. Except for that thing off his nose. I don't know what happened there. Okay, Ralphie, we're gonna go that way. You gonna follow us? I bet he does. This is what Ralph is supposed to keep an eye on. Tom on the job site. We're getting ready for trim, and this is a time I go over a lot of the details so that when Tom gets started, hopefully we've answered quite a bit of the questions ahead of time. So this is something that we've changed. It's not on the plans. We always have a lot of details on the job site that are not in the blueprint, and that's what gives us flexibility, which makes us a custom home builder. And again, we don't always say no, especially when it's my wife's house. I have to say yes to whatever she wants until it gets real weird. So I'm gonna work with Tom and figure out this wall and take you guys along. So Tom, you don't know what we're doing here, but why we're seeing Durock is this is going to bring the outside stone. So I brought some in here, and the fireplace, that is going to be what we call stucco, okay? So there's no trim, nothing on this. The drywall up above is going to be continued stucco. That's a look my wife wants. And the good idea that she has that we're doing is making the outside stone on here. So I brought in a sample to give you an idea, because typically you would trim the sliding glass door out.
Right.
That's probably better. That's a better size. We will use these corners. As you can see, it's a little short, so that's not, right. We'll probably use this longer one.
Cut it to fit.
Cut it to fit. So it'll fit
perfect,
just like that. That'll be nice. And so this stone will go up. So we need a jamb on on this sliding glass door, but instead the jamb is going to be made out of stone. But here's the problem. I need your help, because we're putting a wood beam on the ceiling, and then I want to put a wood header above this door. Some people take this stone because it goes on like tile. Even though it sticks to the wall, we have to make it look like it's starting from the ground up and it's being supported by a lintel. So we could put a stone lintel up there. I think a wood one would look a little better, okay? And
tie into the beam up there.
Yeah, tie into the beam. So, I don't know, tell me what your thoughts are if you're good with that. So how to make,
Well,
that would look dumb there. It has to be,
Well,
wait, a-
if you want it to match the beam.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, well, we're gonna make that out of white oak. Is that right? Will that work?
white oak because we're doing a lighter stain. So
Yes.
typically I don't like oak, but we want it to be, if we can get it rift cut or something close to that. I don't want a lot of graining
Well,
to it.
I would suggest maybe an alder, but that's darker. You can stain it lighter.
Yeah,
It's got some knots in it, but if you don't want that look, oak is, you can stain it light and it works good.
okay, all right, well,
It's more it's more fancy and elegant, you know, that white oak.
oh, the white oak is versus the, okay, that's what we want, something more refined, a
Okay.
smooth look. So,
Right, so
okay,
we'll do the white oak.
white oak up there and
I can
repeat
make
it.
this out of white oak.
Okay, that's what we want.
It'll be some thick stuff.
Okay. And then when you do it, it's going to be thick. It's going to look like it's set, like that sliding glass door was set in there. The wood went in first, sliding glass door second.
Okay, right.
That's the look we're trying to get.
Okay.
And a lot of times people miss that. Even though the sliding door went in first, but we're using real stone that sticks on the wall like tile. So you get it.
And we're just gonna run it past a little bit, past the edge of the stone here. We'll run it past about 4 inches and make it look right.
Right, we
Let's
run it
stick up
past
about 8
because it
inches.
looks like it's carrying the weight of the wall above. That's why we run it past.
Right.
Okay. I hope that makes sense. So there's a lot more little details I'm gonna go over with Tom. So,
Real quick.
Yeah, what do you
There's
got?
a little detail here.
okay,
How tall is your baseboard?
I think 5 inches.
5. How do you want this to work here? This is so
Well,
close to the floor.
how high is that?
4.5.
Well, this baseboard's gonna hit here and probably drop down. That's all gonna be one big chunk of wood, right? And going back up and back. So,
Well, your baseboard's gonna be higher than the sill. It'd been nice to have one more plate on there. It's too bad that's so close to the floor.
what's the problem with it cutting and notching it back?
Well, you want it running into here?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Baseboard's higher than
It
my
would stop.
sill.
I understand. So why can't it
Or
just
I just
cut it? Cut it.
With the sill.
Right. If you raise the sill up, then this
Yeah.
detail changes all the
Yeah,
way around.
Yeah, you don't want to cover you. I can raise the sill up to here to receive your full board, or I rip the baseboard down.
So let's talk
on
about.
this wall.
So that's what we come up with, you guys. We have options on here. What is the right look? Do we raise the sill up so that baseboard? Normally I go 7 inches tall. That's too tall. So I'm going smaller in here.
5.5.
If I
is
went
stop.
that 5.5, do you think it's going to look funny that the bottom, that this black around the window, you have less showing here and more showing on the sides? Do you think that's a big deal? I don't know. Will anybody pick up on that but you and I?
Probably not.
Okay, so then I'll give you the ability to
All right, what are you putting on the floor?
just LVT.
Normally, I raise the baseboard up to at least whatever the height of the floor is.
So
In this situation, if you
Yeah.
had thick floor, 3/4 inch,
then we're,
you're covering up quite a bit of base. But in this case, we don't have a choice.
no, so
So-
leave it almost down tight.
We'll leave it tight, but you're still gonna, for me to have the baseboard flush with the top of the sill, I'll have to raise my sill an inch above here. You'll still have maybe
A little bit of
half
black.
inch showing.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so everything
So
will
it
be
looks
flush.
like one big solid board through here. Okay, so that will repeat in this room and it continues over here. So we have it here again and then it repeats one more time in this hallway. So we got to keep that same look that you're doing in the living room, dining room, and hallway to be exactly the same.
standard skirt boards.
Yep, just our standard skirt. We have lights. I kept telling this guy to get these lights lower. Tony had them up here, had them here, they're still kind of high. Because he kept thinking the base being their skirt board was 12 inches tall, and he was going off this
Yeah,
12 inches.
yeah, it's
12 inches off the back corner.
Right, 12 inches perpendicular to the rake.
So where's 12? About right here?
Actually, it's 11 inches.
11. So it'll be okay.
It's
in
in a good spot.
It's in a
2
good
inches
spot.
above.
Yeah. Okay.
As
So
long as
these
they're
are the
the
things people will not notice. If it's wrong, it sticks out like a sore thumb. If it's right, nobody notices it. So we're hoping. I think we made it right. Let's go upstairs. Okay. I have these doors at my warehouse. I'm going to bring them up. They're slab doors. One would slide back. I mean, it's a French door unit.
I put backing in there, but is there a reason why they're rocking this? You want cased opening, or what's the deal?
Oh.
Normally, I put the jam and casing in.
I can't remember. Maybe they missed that. I don't know if I said no.
Yeah, so.
Do you want me to take that
it'd be
off?
yes, it needs to come off, especially before they put another coat of mud on here because it screws the drywall.
These are
They know
little
how to
details.
read Do they know how to read,
yeah.
remove?
Yeah, well, once we pull this off, then we'll know. I'll tell Mark. I'll look up the word for remove for
These
Spanish.
case openings here, were those supposed to be drywall
Yep,
wrap?
yep, no, just like, yeah, drywall wrap. Because there's some spots you can't do it. See, you can't drywall, you can return and drywall, but you can't put casing on it because this wall is smooth. If it jogged out like this, then you can do it. Hope you guys understand what we're talking about, but typically when you
There's no place to
transition,
put casing on this side.
right, because
Because you don't have a wall sticking out.
the wall went out like this at the bottom, over, like this piece, then you could case it. But right now, I did this on purpose.
Leave it as wide as possible.
Yep,
30
so it's just a transition. Cased openings, a lot of times on people's homes, they look nice. Sometimes it looks like you forgot a door. I don't know, it just depends on the look. We're going a little more modern on this house.
Plus, cased openings are more durable than corner bead gets
Yes.
all beat up.
This is not a high traffic area. It's a bedroom going into a bathroom. So not a lot of activity going on. That's another reason why people do cased openings. We have another wood beam in here, Tom. And they're just putting can lights popping right through. So that'll be can, fan in the middle. Because lumber or fancy wood trim,
Yeah, high-end wood.
high-end wood, for example, like a cherry tree, you can't get very tall
Right.
pieces because you don't see 20, 35, 40 foot tall cherry trees.
Usually the only lumber that's readily available that you can get long is maple, red oak, poplar. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Everything else is shorter lengths.
So when it gets a shorter length being you might only get 12 or 14 foot. These rooms are.
This
room
is 13, that one's 12.
Okay. And if they have a joint, a lot of times people don't like when you see a seam, looks like it's supposed to be a big continuous beam. When you see a joint in there, it's kind of a red flag.
Yeah.
We don't like that. So what we do to hide that is we'll put in a metal bracket, and that bracket is really there to hide the joint, but also it looks like it's holding the beam to the ceiling.
Right.
Even though the house is up and all built, right now we're working off a power pole. You plug it in outside. We have now passed inspections. They now tell the power company it's okay. They'll bring out their crew, disconnect our power pole, and permanently attach power to this house so Tom can get AC. These outlets we see on here, we'll have a couple of them on each floor that he'll be able to plug into, start putting the house back together. So we're in the living room here. I didn't have room for a door to swing any place. So we're gonna put a custom, maybe rustic barn door is what Max would like, where you can slide across, and maybe we get some reclaimed wood. Is that something you can help us build?
Yeah.
All
that's
right,
something
and I think he wants some boards, like some flat boards on the ceiling, some type of a wood. He wants this to feel a little bit more, Mary Kay will let us, my wife is making it feel a little bit more kind of rustic in here. On this whole ceiling, and then put a beam underneath it too?
Oh,
Well,
I thought you wanted the whole ceiling covered. You're just talking beams?
I think it'd be a lot cheaper if we just did a couple
okay.
box beams in here. All right, another closet I'll probably have you do in here.
Is there supposed to be a door here?
No door. Because we're in a bedroom, it's around the corner. These closet doors typically in all these homes are almost always left open. So if we can keep costs down and not put doors on, I have yet to close the closet door in my master bedroom.
This might be a good place to use some of your lumber right here.
Oh,
Thing
just
is,
kind
though, nobody sees it.
This closet's gonna be our overflow closet, Tom. It's under the front stoop. It doubles as a storm shelter, but also when we're moving in here, it was supposed to be like a guest house. It got a little fancier, so we might be here forever. I just don't know. But Mary we need a place for her seasonal clothes, which means if it hangs in her long enough, then we'll be able to get rid of it.
Well, you got short rails right there.
Do I have to
I'm
have one?
kidding.
Oh.
I'm joking. No.
There is some code. I think you get away with not having a rail on one step, then the rail can start. So we left that open. And we left it open because this room is getting so small. If we push this wall back, it makes the room feel like it's 12 inches wider than it is.
Right.
Well, it makes it 12 inches wider.
You prefer one side or the other for the rail, companion rail?
Well, I wonder if I got backing. Do you think it would look? Do you want to put it the same side as the? I guess if you put it here, then that gives you more handrail with that extra step. Then the garage, I'm going to go back to like we do in our garage. We put down exterior siding, like a James Hardy trim board or something along those lines. That's because my drywall touches the floor, and when you hose out a garage, you can't get your drywall wet. It's going to mold after a period of time. So I can have for extra time. My son Nate would like to work with you if it's all possible. If there's some jobs like that you want to show him.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. I do need a door. I don't know if I can order this door, Tom. This was a custom door that we had to get. It's under the steps to get to the water softener.
Does this all have to be airtight?
Yes.
Well, yeah, well,
That's
we
condition
just
space.
order one from Greg.
Okay. All right. So we'll just measure that up, figure it out.
Exterior type grade door.
Yes, exterior type grade door. This is already an exterior grade door. I do want to show you something upstairs that's kind of a big, ugly wall. And since you like to play interior designer, except for the colors, I'm going to ask your opinion on this. So, and maybe it's not a big deal, but you got this big stone wall fireplace. When you turn around, they have this big flat wall right there. Do I leave that wall alone? Got any ideas on that? Or put a big moose head up there? I like the moose head idea. Maybe it's too busy if I put something up there.
Not too many people see that wall, do they?
No. And maybe I think if you put something on it, it might draw too much attention to it. If you leave it alone and paint it, maybe then it just kind of goes away. Otherwise, you're gonna be looking here, looking there.
I don't think you need it.
Okay, I like it what Tom said. He just saved me a bunch of money, nothing. I'm excited to be installing solar power at my house. Typically, the solar panels go on the roof. Roof. This home, I did not want to compromise that look. Plus, I'm going to need a lot more panels than I have roof space. So what I'm going to do is take this field behind me that's pretty much useless. It's got quite a slope to it, but I'm bringing in Chad. Chad the dirt guy is coming in here, and he's already started clearing a spot. He's going to remove all those dead trees and dig out a flat area that's going to be pretty close to 80 to 100 foot long and about 16 foot wide. And we're going to be installing over, I think, close to 36 solar panels that will power this entire house. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on that. I have a unique situation out here at my property. It slopes from the street down to the bottom of the hill to FLAIR'S property. It's close to a 100-foot drop. So in that slope, we had to build roads, which Chad did last year. And I'm having him come back, and we're going to fill in this ravine down at the bottom of the hills. Where that dirt road is, that is going to be the start of a dam. And I want to have him dam all this up and give me a good size pond, which will be on both sides of the road. So when you're making a connection from this house going to the other end of the property, you'll feel like you're driving over a little bit of a bridge because you'll have water on both sides. The big thing is when Chad starts building this pond, it sounds like we're kind of short on water, so he's going to put a pond liner in. I'll look for you guys as expertise. If you have some people on how to keep a pond from draining, I'm all ears. Please tell me, because I'm excited to have this right in my backyard. Hopefully I'll be able to sit out there in an inner tube and a beer and have a cocktail and make Brad the Builder video. So stay tuned. I will definitely keep you guys posted as we make progress on this additional site work. As Chad the Dirt Guy shows up with his big heavy equipment and starts making these ponds and doing additional site work as I get ready to also build my pole barn at the other end of the property.